Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of In the Ecosystem with Mike. I'm elated because I'm sitting here with the amazing, wonderful, intelligent founder turned VC, Sid Mookerji. If you know Sid, you know that he's more than just a big wig within the Atlanta ecosystem. He actually likes to connect with people, bring them into his space, which is where we are today, Silhouette Work Hub, where founders like yourself can come and get a work office of your own and work amongst tenured VCs and exited founders like Sid himself. Now, I know I said a lot about Sid, but I'm gonna let Sid introduce himself a little bit. Sid, how you doing today?
Doing well. Thank you, Mike. Thanks for this opportunity. I love it. A little bit about myself. I was born and raised in India, went to engineering school in a very good school called BITS Pilani. Mm-hmm. I became an electronics engineer and got into IT though. And I have been being a techie all my life. Came and started a company in the US in 1994. My wife and I were co-founders of the company. I ran the company for 20-something years. That company did tech work for retail and e-commerce companies. Mm-hmm. So a lot of it was custom application development and maintenance, but we also had a bunch of products and did 14 acquisitions. We had, at the end, 3,000 people in 8 countries.
Wow.
And then at that point, we brought in private equity for the first time. Till that point, I did not have any other external investors on my cap table. Mm-hmm. So very good outcome for the family, and sold more than half the company to the private equity company. And obviously kept my involvement with the company also, because I still own this substantial portion of it. Mm-hmm. And 3 years after the private equity investment, a very large strategic called Cognizant came and bought the entire company. So a second bite, as they call it, and that was great. So that was in 2018. Mm-hmm. And post that, doing a bunch of different things. I run a venture fund called Silicon Road Ventures. That's my day job. Mm-hmm. I work with founders, early stage founders, write checks. Silicon Road Ventures invests in companies that are tech that is relevant to retail e-commerce and brands. Mm-hmm. I'm doing that because other than just writing checks, we're also want to provide connections, help them with their company overall operationally, right? So we're doing that as well. And it's been a great run. Made investments into 30 startups, over 30 startups now.
Nice.
And our most recent venture fund, we are investing in India-based companies as well.
That's wonderful.
So that's really exciting for us.
See, you mind if I interject real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Man, that was wonderful. You took us from here to where we are right now.
Yeah.
And I love it. But I would like to go back down memory lane if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
So you grew up in India. You started in India, then you moved to the US. Could you tell me what some of those early childhood upbringings and even going to school for electrical engineering, like how has these experiences helped to shape you into the VC and founder that you are? Yeah, because yes, you did exit, but VC and founder that you are today.
Yeah, great question. So I was very fortunate. I had great mentors, and going to a really good school in India, I mean, in addition to the subject matter, also really taught me how to think, how to solve problems.
That's important.
And that's very important, right? Because it's not only about the knowledge which is in a book, it's about solving real life problems. And so I learned that. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. So for some crazy reason, I always wanted to do that. And so that's basically how sort of I, right from the beginning, wanted to do this and came to the land of opportunity and built a career here.
That's wonderful. So you came to the land of opportunity, but you never forgot home. And you never forgot the people that were here too, that you had met along this way. So Absolutely. For you, I see a lot of within your journey, like philanthropy, altruism, giving back. Is that one of your core tenets?
Yes, we have a good sized family foundation as well.
Wonderful.
And we work very closely with schools, supporting entrepreneurs, and also causes around women and children. So in the Atlanta ecosystem, we work with Georgia Tech, Kennesaw State, and we recently also started working with BITS Pilani, which was my alma mater. So I'm doing that. Finally, I'm also an EIR with Emory, University Business School. But is it one of my core tenets? Absolutely. I always wanted to give back to the cities which I called home. In the early years, it was a couple of cities in India, and now Atlanta. So both of those are very important to me.
I can attest to that, because me being from the Bay and then moving out here to the A, I feel like this is my second home too. This is where I really had became a man, and where I had learned a lot of my experiences that shaped me into who I am today. So speaking more about the Atlanta ecosystem and some of those experiences that you had when you were a founder out here, what are some of those experiences and teachings that you have learned and accumulated that helped to make you into the man, or let's just say the VC that you are today?
Atlanta, as we all know, is a big tech hub.
Yeah.
We are home to several Fortune 500 companies, headquarters. Many large corporations have very large technology centers here. The top names in the world, they're all here. However, Atlanta has really not become really big in early stage tech, early stage investing. So if you're a founder, you'll have a harder time in Atlanta to find somebody who can help you through those different things, right? So after the exit, this was one of the things I wanted to do. I had a hard time. I was fortunate. I had some great mentors, but I also found that to be really hard, and there definitely wasn't much funding available at the time. So one of my goals was to try to support that, either in partnership with some of these schools or through a venture fund, which eventually is what I did.
That's wonderful. So giving back, seeing what the gaps are within the ecosystem and wanting to fill those gaps.
Right.
That's something that I do want to go deeper in, if you would like to tell a little bit more about your experiences now that you're on the other end. So when you fill these gaps, do you also call upon others to come and fill these gaps with you? Or are you just like, if I have to do it alone, I'll do it alone?
No, I believe it takes a village.
Thank you.
And I can do a lot of stuff myself, but I'd rather that I have others along with me. I was an EIR at ATDC, which is Georgia Tech's incubator. And at ATDC is where I found that some really good companies were leaving the city and going to the Bay Area or to New York or Boston, because that's where all the VCs were.
Yeah.
And I just said, no, we got to do something different. I had a lot of great mentors. You said you're going to speak with Sid Mookerji. And Sid has been a big supporter right from the beginning. We also have the fortune of having several investors. So when I started my venture fund, it was the same thought. I could have really done it as a family office.
Yeah.
But I said, no, I do want to get others in, because it's not just about, the money. It also requires the ecosystem to come in and make it successful. And so very fortunate. Some of our investors who have given us permission to share their name, one of them is Frank Blake. Frank was former CEO at Home Depot. I met him for the first time on Zoom during COVID. And he has been a big supporter and investor in both our funds. So that's been an amazing experience, and extremely humbling as well, to have all these people. We have over 100 investors in our funds.
Wow.
And also at ATDC and at various other organizations I'm a part of, such as TIE. So I have been able to get lots of senior execs to come in and participate. I brought in CIOs, CTOs, CEOs of large retailers to ATDC. And then we had several very well-known people in retail e-commerce be speakers at TIE, at our Commerce Connect programs as well.
That's wonderful.
So definitely, it's very important that everyone participates.
That's wonderful. I love how you look at it from a holistic point of view. As with most people, when they learn about VC, they often don't see that it still is communal, and that's even something that's enlightening for me too. Because when I started to learn that LPs help to make the fund, and general partners and managing partners and everybody in between, and not just a VC is just one person with a large sum of money who vets all these companies. I think that's a lot on one person.
Yeah.
But to look at it from the lens of it being more holistic, and that it does take a village even in VC, why is that important for the founder to know that it's not just those who vet the founders and what companies to invest other people's money into?
No, it's important because many founders, what you said, many of them don't believe that they should seek out help from anybody else. Okay. And that's a big mistake, because the one thing I've learned in all my years is that I don't know everything. And anybody that feels that they know everything is completely wrong, right? So it's important that you have an open mind. And that's one of the things that we look at as a VC when we are speaking with founders. Before we make an investment, we find, are these people coachable or not? That's the term that we use. And, we can ask a few questions and usually figure it out. So that's a very important criterion for us. So
now let's go back to when you were a founder and some of the things that you wish you had known when you were a founder that now you know because you're a VC. Out of these things that you wish that you would have known, what do you think can help founders along their journey now?
The biggest is that I wish I had gotten investments earlier on into my company. And remember, I started my company in 1994. So this was a few years before the Y2K and .com.
Party like it's 1999.
It was massive, right? Exactly. People thought that the world is going to end on December 31st, 1999. And what it resulted in was a lot of great IT work, because everybody was trying to remediate the systems. And several outsourcers, similar to what we were, used that opportunity to become much, much bigger. So I could have done that, but I didn't have the capital. That is one thing. I did seek out mentors, and that's the other thing I wish I had done more of, because to get great mentors and people that can tell you how to navigate specific portions of your journey is extremely important, right? So mentors, however well-meaning they are, may not know how to handle certain situations that arise when you are a $10 million company versus when you're a 50 or a 100 or a $500 million company, right? So those are all things that, access to mentors is something that I wish that I had. Now, things have changed a lot, in the past 30 years. There are amazing organizations that have sprung up in the city, great VCs as well. And that has made a difference. But I wish that there was more of that when I was starting off my company.
Right, more community, more willingness to collaborate and mentor.
Exactly.
Yeah. It kind of sounds like back in the day, it was more of like a no man's land, like you're on your own, you got to figure it out. And maybe even if that wasn't always the case, like some founders felt like that's what they had to do because that's what made them a founder. In terms of when you're investing in companies, what do you look for in terms of their values and their vision when it comes to the team in that company that makes them a founder?
So I'll go over the different criteria that we have for making investments into companies. So first of all, the company needs to be headquartered and all the IP needs to belong to either the United States or India at this point. It needs to be a technology which is relevant to retail e-commerce or CPG. So think about all the technology that Amazon is buying or Walmart is buying or Coke is buying. And if the technology is something that any of these organizations might be interested in, we'd be looking to invest. Alignment with one of these core industries, because we can bring some of the largest retailers in the world to play and listen to the story. it goes without saying that VC funds will not back services-based companies.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be a product. It has to be something that is scalable.
Mm-hmm.
In our case, we don't invest in companies that have any kind of hardware.
Okay.
And or we don't invest in B2C companies. So it's B2B software. And the reason for that is because with $150 million under management,
Mm-hmm.
We are too small to be able to support a company through very large capital infusions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what is needed for hardware-based companies and for B2C companies.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to those, so those are call them the rule-out criteria. We also need $250,000 of annual recurring revenue,
Mm-hmm.
ARR. But other than that, we also require, we look at the technology, we look at the market size, we look at the founders, very
Mm-hmm.
importantly. If a founder has had success in the past, we are more interested. Or if they have been part of a startup, even if they were not the founder, that is very interesting to us. We are looking for companies that have traction, that have shown significant growth
Mm-hmm.
after they have established product market fit. And we will not invest in companies that don't have product market fit.
So, product market fit, there's also something similar that I heard you say before, founder market fit. Could you speak a little bit more on what that founder market fit looks like for those who may not know?
Yeah, sure. So founder market fit is the founder's understanding of the industry,
Mm-hmm.
the founder's understanding of solving the specific problem they're trying to solve,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the founder's kind of reputation in the industry as well, and capability. So the reality is that in general, being the founder of a company is not for everybody,
Right.
right? It requires, among other things, a very strong stomach,
Mm-hmm.
right? But other than that, you also need to have a really deep understanding of the problem that you're trying to solve.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what we are looking for, the
Gotcha.
founder market fit.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
So, in terms of the Atlanta ecosystem and ways that you have been contributing, because I know I've seen you as a judge, I've seen you as a mentor, I mean, EIR, you've been doing a lot in terms of supporting the ecosystem. If you were to say to a founder of ways that they can plug themselves into the ecosystem, what would be some programs, maybe some events, or just some ways to think about how they can plug into their ecosystem rather than being online all day?
Yeah, I think one of the best ways I know about is the TIE organization. So TIE Atlanta. So if somebody Google TIE and then Atlanta, you would find the link. You'd find the link to get there. And this is an organization that is a networking organization for entrepreneurs. Also provides education and some funding, community networking, all those good things. So I like what that can bring to the table, whether you are somebody that's already a founder or looking to be a founder even. And founders are company execs at all stages can be supportive of that, right? Other than that, the ATDC and the ATV, Atlanta Tech Village, is a great resource as well. So ATDC has backing from the state of Georgia, and they have programs to provide education, mentorship, without expecting anything in return. So it's a really great way for founders to figure out early traction, early growth, and get support during that period.
Wonderful. I love how you said get support, like to finish it, because that's a lot of what founders need, whether it's support in learning something that they don't know, or refining what they do know, or getting a connection or a capital connection, whatever it may be. So you've worked with companies from idea stage to global enterprise. And where do most founders get stuck, and how do they get unstuck?
It's a big list.
Right.
Big list. So the first is product market fit. I would say, okay, let's start there. So many founders fall in love with their technology, fall in love with an idea. The problem is that their customers do not think it's a great idea,
Mm.
or do not think it is important enough for them to spend a ton of money and time on it. So product market fit is very important, without which any idea can fail, however good a founder is. Okay. The second is founders, human beings, hate
Okay.
being said no to.
Mhm.
Right. So right, we all do, right? And if you're a founder, like a salesperson, you have to be able to pick up the phone, call people, however uncomfortable you are. Be ready to listen to no's and not give up.
Mhm.
Right? Figure out connections, and be able to negotiate the deals that will help you out. Building great teams is another thing which is important. I've seen companies fail because they did not realize that they needed different levels of expertise in a particular functional area, usually financial, right? And people fail because of that. The single biggest reason why companies fail is because they run out of cash, right? And I can't tell you how many companies have I have spoken to founders, keep counseling them. They don't even realize that they're about to run out of cash. I show them the numbers. Look at this. This is how much of cash you have in the bank. This is your burn. There is no way. Oh no, but I'm going to get this new contract and whatever else. But what?
Right, that's called hopium.
That's hope is not a strategy.
Right.
And so that is one. So yeah, I mean, there are various reasons why companies fail. One of the really interesting things, Michael, is that many companies that come to us after they have raised some money come to us with a cap table, which makes them uninvestable.
Oh, that's interesting. Sometimes I've heard the reciprocal, that a cap table was more attractive to an investor.
But let me explain to you what that means.
Okay.
There are situations where investors, who I believe are unsophisticated themselves, they take on significant equity in the company for a small investment. Okay, so if you are the founder of a company and you're looking for, call it $500,000 of revenue, of investment, and if an investor comes to you and says, okay, I'll give you the $500,000, but I want half the company.
Okay, yeah, no.
Well, you'll be surprised how many people say yes.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. So there is that. There is very often building that early team is very important. But when you have co-founders, I can't tell you how many companies have come to us 3 years into their journey. Started with 4 co-founders. All of them had 25% each. And 2 of them no longer want to do this.
That's not cool. That's not fun for anybody.
Well,
not fun for the investor.
And there is 50% of the common stock now sitting with those co-founders.
Just idle.
Well, yeah, it has no value. So as an investor, when I look at that, I say, why is that there? Because I want to provide incentives to the founders who are actually active.
Okay.
Right. So if I'm going to up the common stock and those other idle co-founders also get, an equivalent share, then that's of no use to me. Okay. So you have to structure it right. And there are various ways to do it. I work with startups all the time, tell them that put structures in place in your initial agreements, which will allow you to, for example, buy back shares if somebody is inactive, and so on and so forth. Then venture studios, there are so many different reasons. So cap tables are a big reason why we very often might actually choose not to invest, even though we like the company otherwise.
It sounds like there's so many intricacies that goes into saying yes to a founder when they come and ask for investment. It's almost like they have a quilt and you look at every stitch as well as every design and how large it is, what are the dimensions of this quilt. It's like, all right, is this going to keep me warm during the winter? It's like, yes, it will. But then they have a terrible burn rate, so it's actually going to keep us warmer than we want to be.
Exactly.
So in terms of, now I want to go back to memory lane again. You eventually exited the business that you had built. What did that process teach you about timing, deal making? And this is going to be my favorite part, because we spoke about this during our conversation. A lot of founders have a hard time letting go. What did you learn about deal making, timing, and letting go?
Yeah, I mean, this was in 2014. So I had run the company for 20 years by the time, and the company was doing very well. I'm not complaining about that. I had some great employees. I mean, I love working with them. But it was getting to where, it was, I was traveling all over the world, and I wanted to do something else, make an impact, a greater impact on, the things that I love, places that I love. And so I asked my CFO. So my CFO at the time happened to be a prior investment banker.
Okay.
So I asked him to sort of structure a process. So we put a process together. So what does the process mean? So we went through this and then build out the deck to reflect what we are looking for. Identify potentials who could be interested. Reach out to them. So we went through this process. We were large enough that we went to private equity, growth equity, and mezzanine lenders as well. So there were 3 categories of people that we approached. We went to the Bay Area. We went to New York, Boston, Chicago, even Mumbai, Atlanta, of course. And I made that pitch 70 times, maybe.
Wow. I bet you, did you get pitch fatigue?
Pitch fatigue, and then you forget, did I tell him on this already or no? Because it's the 3rd time I'm pitching it during the day. And so I ended up in we got about a dozen letters of intent, and then we finalized the deal. And so that was how we did the first tranche of it, if you will.
Gotcha.
And then the private equity company wanted to, really acquire 51% of the company. So they would have control, but I would still have 49%. And I said, no way.
Why did you say no way to that?
Because I don't have control, and yet a lot of my money is stuck in the company.
Okay, smart man.
Yeah, right. I mean, why would you do that? So right. So I said, oh no, we're not doing that. So they did what is called a leveraged buyout.
Okay.
So we got lenders to lend against the EBITDA of the company, which was very strong, and we put debt on the company, and took that money off the table to my family. So that was that. And then basically I took a lot of the money out, pretty much 90% of the value out, and I still owned 49% of the company.
Nice.
So it was good. And then subsequently, like I said, we did a couple more acquisitions and sold the company to Cognizant.
Nice. Man, that's a wonderful story. I love how you said, no, you're not getting 51%. Not like this.
Not like this, no way.
Because earlier you said founders were literally selling half of their company for $500K.
Oh yeah, I've seen that more often than you'd know. Yeah, it's crazy.
And I just think to myself, who would give up the majority of control as well as cash flow to somebody that, one, they may not have vetted well, 2, may not know about their experiences or their networking connections or even their skill set and expertise. And I just really appreciate how now the founders who are going to be watching this, they can learn from somebody like Sid, who went from founder to VC, of maintain your control, because when it comes to your company, that's your baby.
Yeah, but that, and also get mentors, somebody who can tell you. So, if a founder already had spoken to somebody who had been through this process, understands it, they'd have already told him, do not do this.
Okay.
Right. Rather not take the money, even though it sounds very attractive. $500,000 is a lot of money. But don't take it, because you're just going to destroy the cap table of the company.
Right. And we're looking to build sustainable businesses here.
Exactly.
That's another thing about myself. I don't, as much as hustle sounds good and great for startups, I don't like that mentality, because hustle means one here, one there, one there. Maybe you catch 3 there, but it's short returns with a short expiration date on it as well. Whereas if you have a sustainable business, I expect that I'm going to make $1 million this month, maybe a little bit more on this month, but my baseline is $1 million. And I expect that sustainably. So then I can make more hires if I need to, go into marketing or even R&D on my product, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
Just do things that sustain and scale the business.
For sure.
What is your opinion on founders having to be scrappy all the time and being told this hustle mindset is something that they should constantly adopt?
So the companies that we invest in, and I think the companies that have the greatest opportunity to have a great outcome are the ones that are building great products.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So founders or companies like that need to have sufficient funds to build the product appropriately, right? And then do the initial go-to-market motions. So the company that I built and I sold, that company was primarily a services company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So therefore, it was not venture backable for sure. I think other investors would have been very interested, but not venture funds. And I had cash flow to sustain growth, so I didn't need anybody to put money in. Meaning, I would not run out of money. I was, for the most part, maybe after the first 2-3 months, where my co-founder and my wife, and she was hustling, she was still working full time, and we were using those funds to start the company. Other than that, I didn't have to worry about it because I was cash flow positive.
Right.
Right. But whereas the ones which have the opportunity for massive exits, all the names that you hear with the startups, right, in the news, those are all companies that had to spend substantial amounts of money to build the product initially and take it to market. And so in order to do that, you need hustle. I don't know if hustle is the right term, but a founder needs to be able to convey what their idea is in an exciting manner. After having done the customer discovery, right, to figure out what they're trying to build is actually interesting to their target customers, right, and they're willing to pay meaningful money for it. And then go and sell that idea to investors, unless they might have a bank balance to build it out. So so I think that is hustle. The other hustle is they need to be able to call prospective customers once the product is built, and convince them to try to use it, right, and build out pricing plans which will make it interesting for these customers to do so. Show them the value. So that requires listening to a lot of no's. But in the early stages of a company, really the only person that can sell is the founder. Again, I see this very often, Michael, where there are people that are, founders feel, I grew the company to call it $2 million of revenue. Okay, I now need to get a head of sales. That's a big mistake, because at $2 million, you're still too small to have anything other than founder-led sales. You get a head of sales when your sales motion is so smooth that you just can't handle all the things which are coming in. Then you need a head of sales.
Gotcha.
Right? But there is no magic bullet there. Okay, there is nothing there which says, I'm going to get this guy, and somehow this guy is going to sell better than me. Not happening.
Right.
If you cannot sell it as a founder, then nobody can.
Because that guy still has to learn how to sell your product and service too.
And he obviously will not sell it with the same passion.
Right.
He won't be able to tell the prospective customer, who is probably a large organization, hey, listen, I am the founder, and my word is that this will work for you. The head of sales, however great he is, cannot say that.
Right. Yeah.
So the founder has to sell.
So I love how you touched on hustle. And it doesn't have to be one-offs, but it's really about creativity. And how do you creatively approach a problem? Because what I've been learning in my founder journey is that, we get a lot of problems. We may get something that is ambiguous or unclear to us after having a meeting, or we have that meeting and then we may just get something that we haven't approached before. So I often think about, how can I creatively solve a problem? Because if I keep having these standard ways of doing it, just because I've experienced it in the past and it seems familiar right now, I should do it the same way. What is your approach on founder creativity? And if you can't even bring that or juxtapose that to VCs being creative too, I think that would be very interesting for us all to know.
I can tell you how to be a cool founder.
All right, come on.
You want to know how to be a cool founder? Yeah?
Yeah, come on.
All right. Okay, all right. So it has 2 parts to it, 4 parts to it, right? C, O, O, and L.
Okay, let's go.
All right?
Yeah.
So the first is you cannot be a founder without great communication skills.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
So you have to have amazing communication skills, and you should not be afraid to go out and talk about your product to whoever wants to listen, right? And just go be unabashed about it. You have to have great communication skills, not just with people that are outside the company, but also inside the company,
right,
to make sure your vision is very clearly shared with everybody and they are willing to sign up for it. Okay, so that's the communication piece.
Gotcha.
The second, like you said, is out of the box thinking, right? So yeah, exactly. I mean, not everybody has done the things that will be needed to solve the problem that you're facing. So you got to be able to think outside the box. You'll get a lot of advice to the contrary, right? To say, no, don't hire this guy, or, there are, whatever the case might be. And so how you hire people, what you build into your product, how you go to market, how you use partnerships, all of those things typically is nuanced and, changes a little bit with each company. The third O, the third factor, which is the second O, COO, right, is taking ownership.
That's important.
That's very, very important, right? So you cannot be the guy that says, oh, I had this great idea and now I'm going to get a head of sales, right?
Right.
Or, I want the money, but I don't want to raise the money. So I'm going to hire somebody to raise the money. I mean, when an early stage company comes to me through an investment banker,
okay, that's a turn.
I'm saying, what's going on? Why?
Yeah.
I mean, they can't talk about their own company, really? Okay, so ownership is important. And the fourth is lifelong learning.
Lifetime journey?
Lifelong learning.
Lifelong learning. I like that.
Right.
That is very cool.
Right. So you have to be able to do that, and you have to be able to, constantly keep learning, be coachable. When Sig says something to me, many times, he doesn't say much, but when he does, I listen. Because, he's probably going to say things which I didn't know, or my thinking might be wrong on something. So those are the kinds of things that, that's how you become a cool founder.
All right.
Right?
Well, look, I'm going to come back to this pretty soon. I'm going to tell you what I've been doing with CMP, R&D, and our robotic joint and whatnot.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm going to ask you if I'm a cool founder. And if I am, then I want you to say you're cooler than a polar bear's toenails.
Absolutely.
Sounds good. So to wrap us up, I want to focus on our ecosystem in the Southeast.
Yeah.
Throughout this entire conversation, you've been speaking about how you've been an excellent advocate, if I say so myself, because in a lot of the spaces I go to as a founder, I see you there as a VC and exited founder. So cheers to you, sir.
Thank you.
So you've been a strong advocate for this market. What makes Atlanta different?
Because it's home.
Thank you. Thank you. HOME.
Well, what makes Atlanta different? Good question. Atlanta is, like I said, several Fortune 500 companies are headquartered in Atlanta.
Okay.
Which actually, along with everything else, also brings lots of tech talent to Atlanta. Atlanta is home to the Georgia Institute of Technology, to University of Georgia, to Kennesaw State, to Georgia State.
And even the HBCUs, I got to throw that in there because I'm a graduate of powerhouse.
HBCU, there you go. Yeah, so there are several top-notch educational institutions in the city churning out graduates every year, tens of thousands of them. So that's another thing that's going for the city. Atlanta is arguably the most connected city in the world with Delta Airlines, right?
That is true. Correct. This is home.
This is home. So anybody looking to build a global business should be coming here.
That makes sense.
Right? And in fact, there are many that have come here for that reason, by the way.
I'm one of them.
You are.
Seriously.
There you go. Yeah.
So I'm living example.
Yeah.
Everybody clap for that. Transplants outside.
There you go.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah.
So, I'm sorry.
No, that's yeah. I mean, so that exactly. There are lots of things going for the city, for sure.
So, in terms of one thing that we get right compared to other ecosystems, what do you think that is?
Hey, attracting great people like you and me.
Thank you.
Right?
You heard it from Sid himself. I'm cool.
All right, you're cool. You're very cool.
And the last thing is, what's if you could design the perfect startup ecosystem from scratch?
Mm-hmm.
What would non-negotiable features look like to you?
I would like to create an ecosystem which provides all the elements that a startup needs. So you need education to understand how to be a founder.
Mm-hmm.
You need a strong network of coaches and mentors
Mm-hmm.
who are able to guide founders. You need to have access to technology and technological
Mm-hmm.
innovation, which in the case of companies like the ones that we invest in, for them, you need the technology, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You need funding. So basically, you need to be able to raise money for a company that deserves and needs the funds.
Mm-hmm.
And so that funding needs to be available. And infrastructure. So, Silhouette Work Hub is an example where we are trying to bring startups that are in the commerce space,
Mm-hmm.
right? Commerce enablement space. So we need more people doing stuff like this. There are
Mm-hmm.
a few others, of course, in the city, as you're aware, but those are all the factors. And with those, it's definitely possible to build an amazing ecosystem.
I feel like you just described Atlanta.
Oh, you did?
Without saying Atlanta.
That's right. I mean, other than the funding, I would still argue that the funding ecosystem in Atlanta is still maturing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's a lot more we could do here. So,
well, I thank you on behalf of every founder for saying that to the other VCs in the world who may even watch this as well.
Sure.
Come to Atlanta. Abundance and prosperity is here, as well as ingenuity and intelligence. I look at Atlanta as like a modern day Timbuktu, because in Timbuktu you have the merchants, which would be the founders and the businesses. You have the universities, which would be all the universities that we just spoke of.
Yeah.
And then you have the port, just the coastline, and that would be Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, where everybody from around the world comes on in. So we are living in a modern day empire, which can be, if not one of the top 5 tech hubs, the #1 tech hub.
Absolutely.
And you're a part of that change. And to everybody else who was a part of that change, thank you as well. And Sid, that's gonna wrap us up. So I appreciate you for coming on In the Ecosystem with Mike. Are there any last words that you would like to share with anyone who's watching this, student, founder, funder, all those in our ecosystem?
Well, I mean, the last thing I'll say is that if you're a founder and you have had success, you have had an exit, then give back to the city that made you successful. That is what makes great ecosystems thrive. But thanks a lot. Good luck.
Yeah. Oh, and where can we find you as well?
You can find me on LinkedIn, Sid Mookerji. And you can also, of course, come to the Silhouette Work Hub and I'll meet you in person.
Yeah, come to Silhouette Work Hub. They have fun events here, okay? Networking, learning, the L, right? Lifelong learning?
Lifelong learning.
Okay, that lifelong learning. There we go. So come to Silhouette Work Hub, where you could also get yourself some office space and learn from VCs in person. Get that mentorship like Sid was talking about at any time you need, except for after 5 o'clock. So other than that, thanks everybody. Thanks for watching.